Finland to take it up. I mean, it depends on your own assessment and confidence. If you feel that you can definitely qualify, of course, you can change tactics either in the semis or indeed in the final.
Yes, you can, and this is where, of course, Krukov will go from second very quickly. Well, not very quickly, but into first.
What on earth is going on there? That was really unnecessarily tight.
He's been pushed over to his left, so into these cones. What is that about? So he's lost the gain that he had. Krukov, he's now lost it.
And that's Transvaal in front. This is rough. And those two, there might be a jury chat there, because look what's happened. Baptiste now for Baptiste Grove for France has come through, and Transvaal's lost his position, and Krukov is only third, which is not good enough for automatic qualification. So what a turn up here. Poltaranin in second place for Kazakhstan as they come to the left-hander here, and it's now Krukov trying to get back into this, but he's just on the ski tails of Poltaranin. Chabotko behind him. Heidegger out of this one at the moment, and it is the Frenchman Baptiste Grove who's really powering up here. Poltaranin, Krukov on the far side. Krukov desperate to get into second place here. Maybe this wasn't the right choice of tactics, but his sheer power, his sheer class, his sheer determination is getting him there. But this has taken a lot of energy out of Krukov as he comes up here. Poltaranin striding, gliding, and Krukov gets there.
That was so impressive. And Baptiste Gross, he went waxless, but just faded in the last 50 meters.
Faster than the first quarterfinal by 2.5 seconds. Plenty for the jury to think about after that last quarterfinal, Mike.
Well, Transvaal got to the front and then seemed to push Krukov into the side markers, but we'll have to wait and see. Didn't seem right to me.
Finns in the men's division as well as the women's division qualifying very well. Kalle Lasila and then Anssi Pensinen. And these men have got pedigree. Pensinen in particular, although he's 19th down in the World Cup rankings, he's a man who you have to respect in terms of his sprinting prowess. Erik Bransdal, the fastest in qualification of these six. And the spread here was just over 3 seconds, so very tight at times. And Ola Biggen Hallestad for Norway. Tall, imposing figure. He wears bib number 16 right on the left of your picture, and he is pretty well the tallest of these six.
He's a very strong athlete, and he was saying his confidence, well, he felt better for last weekend in Lahti, where he at last got onto the podium in second place.
Yeah, former world champion, of course, in Liberec in the 1600-meter freestyle final there. But leading out, it's number 25, and that's Kalle Lasila. And he's made the best start by some way of all of them.
That's a brutal start. So only arm power for Lasila all the way up to 30 seconds. And now this is the climb. This is a very, when you look at the spectators way in the background, it shows the climb that you have to do. And if you're only using your arms, as Northug and Krukov did and Baptiste, it's hard work.
So Kalle still with the edge, the 28-year-old Finn from Kokkola. World Championships, he was a little disappointing. He was inside the top 30, but down in 28th place. And this season, his best sprint performance, 6th in Kuusamo, right in the early part of December. So maybe it's one of those seasons where you do well at the front and well in the end. 5 coming up now to lay down the challenge for him, and this is Erik Bransdal. You thought when we were looking at the race, Mike, earlier on, that Bransdal might have a good afternoon here in Drammen.
I really felt that, and just looking at how he's performed this winter, and I do believe this course suits him very well. But again, a lot of it's on your strategy, your tactics.
Well, it's worth mentioning that, you know, Bransdal was a winner here last year, and Erik Bransdal on the 7th of March last year. the winner of the men's division.
Lasila skis there, look what he's done. I mean, that's him breaking the 40k/h wind at the front, and they're still pulling away from the rest of the pack. The skis are great.
Torrin Koos, we haven't given him a mention, in black for the United States. I mean, he's a really good skier, but he doesn't have many outings these days in world-class sprinting, and I'm impressed by what he's doing at the moment.
And also Gianluca Cologna, Dario Cologna's brother, he's number 6 and going well.
Yeah, he's just gone into second. He's got the black suit with the silver stripes. Koos's black suit without anything on it, so just be careful there. But look at Gianluca coming up now to take on Kali Lasila, and Bransdal now fighting for 3rd place on the extreme right of your picture. Bransdal and also Hadderstad in this for Norway. Bransdal on the far side, and Hadderstad's being run out of this, but this is Gianluca Cologna. And look at that, there may be no Dario Cologna, but Bransdal gets 2nd place there and had to really fight for it. And 2:51.1, so the slowest of the 3 heats so far. So for my money, that gives Chapotko a real chance, and also at the moment Baptiste Gross. Well, that was impressive, Mike, from Gianluca.
It was very impressive. I think he ran the strategically, he ran it so well. He wasn't too worried early on. He couldn't do much about the road blocking, kept calm and came through at 3/4 distance. And Bransdal, there was some kind of collision there, which maybe we didn't see, but I saw Bransdal has a nosebleed. In fact, you can see it there. And he did say something to Gianluca after the race. So maybe a ski pole coming up into your face. It does happen.
Yeah, Gianluca, the younger brother of Dario Cologna, absent because he's still feeling the efforts of the season. But at 23, that's a good effort. And so we go on to now quarterfinal number 4, and some old favourites in here. Len Valjas, 22, representing Sweden. Kalle Halvarsson, one of the stars for me. Didn't get a medal, but one of the stars for me of the Swedish team at the World Championships. Obviously Johan Olsen, the big star. Finn Krogh for Norway. 9, this is Jon Christian Dahl. 12, Pajinski, the Olympic silver medalist from Whistler. And finally, last but not least, the classic specialist that is Eldar Rønning.
He's a stocky, strong athlete, Rønning, and he's really psyched up for this. The 2nd fastest in the qualifying. He must be feeling good.
This is quite a tough quarter-final, Mike. And now watch Len Valjas. He's got to come over because he's got the tracks come down. You can see 5 tracks, and they're going to reduce in number.
It's a difficult, you've got to be so wise, so quick off the mark if you want to lead this out. It's not always an advantage leading it out, but look at Len Valjas. He's always so easy and relaxed in the early part of sprints, and he reads his way through the pack later. He's not phased at the moment. He's not even getting involved in the pace at the moment, Len Valjas.
And Kalle Halvarsson it is who made the early pace up there, but now it's the Russian Pajinski who's in front now, Pajinski, and this will be interesting to see. He's raced very sparingly this year. He's comparatively lightly raced, Pajinski.
Long rangy reach, Pajinski, covering so much distance with each stride, a little like Len Valjas, over 1.90 m in height, about 1.97. This is great turn of pace from Pajinski, attacking, constantly attacking, definitely the fastest start.
Yeah, Pajinski's only 23. Remember, you know, he was just 20, and he was, before he he got the silver in the Olympic Games. He won the Junior World Sprint Classic title. That was in BRUN-LIE in France in 2009. And then he won the Under-23 Classic Sprint in Ottawa 2 years ago.
All the speed, and that's a good speed that Panzinski has, but all the gain he had, 40 meters, Röning just ate it up. Look at the skis from Eldar Röning, so fast.
Yeah, you're beginning to wonder what these Norwegian servicemen have discovered, because they have been so spot on.
Well, the Swedes were saying at the World Champs, have they found some new chemical that repels water? Is there something new on the market? Well, not on the market, but it needs to be really if it's used on the skis.
So it's the 30-year-old Norwegian who's vying with the 23-year-old Russian, and they are virtually shoulder to shoulder. Oh, running out of the tracks and acrobatic, and he recovered brilliantly.
A lot of tension in that to capture that potential fall. Has it put him off? Probably not.
No, he's right there, but also challenging really hard as well in this for Norway. You've got Dahl. You've also got Krog, and now you can see Röning with the power on the far side there, just pressing on, but now being eclipsed as they come up to the line here. There's 1, 2, 3 Norwegians.
That's Krog at the front.
That's Krog, yeah. Came right on the outside, and he gets it from Dahl and Valjas. You can see what happened. Röning just run out of it. 2:51.8, and again, Mike, that's a fraction slow. That is actually chronometrically the slowest.
And the two Norwegians who stayed at the back in the early stages of the race, in the final 50 meters, came to the front.
So Dahl and Krog, the ones who go through automatically, but I still think it's the men in the first quarterfinal who've got the best chance of those lucky loser spots. Oh. Well, it did cost him in the end. And look where Dahl comes from. He's the third of those Norwegians where he couldn't quite see it. So on to the last of our quarterfinals. Jens Eriksson for Sweden in here. Øystein Pedersen, who said that he's really looking for a good result here. Here is Øystein.
Interesting. He really means business.
Yeah, he does. Foss-Lie, another of the Norwegians. In the white for Sweden, this is Theodor Pedersen. And of course, Theodor Pedersen, the sprint champion. Last season, I think Theodor won that sprint title. And it hasn't been quite so good this year. He's in third place. And there on the end, last but certainly not least, Yushi Honda in the purple of Japan. At least the Japanese have done well in their colour selection, because they are distinctive by the choice of their suits. And he's very much a journeyman, Yuichi, but I'd love to see him get onto a World Cup podium.
Yeah, so would I. And as you say, he's been around for many, many years. He's there. He's always there in the hunt. But at the moment, Honda taking it quite easy on himself in the early stages, and we often see that works.
Theodor Pedersen switching tracks, and as a result of that, Kent Ove Clausen, who skis for Norway but is in the dark suit on the far side, so it's not a national race suit.